You ever wonder if one of these was worth buying? Well, watch today's video and find out. Hey everybody, it's Arl from Arl House. And as I mentioned before, one of the best things about these mini excavators are the attachments. Up till this point, I haven't done anything with any hydraulic attachments. But today we're going to do something. This is the auger. We're going to get this thing unpackaged here and hooked up, and we're going to see how it does. What I will say is that I had this delivered with the machines. This ran just south of 300 bucks. I would encourage you, if you're ordering directly from the manufacturer, order all the attachments you think you're going to need, because you're never going to get a better price, and it's not going to cost you anything extra in shipping because they just throw it in the crate. So that's definitely the way to go. Now, whether or not this is going to be any good, we're going to find out together. And one thing I'll note is I do not have quick attaches yet, so we are going to have to hook these up manually. It's a 27 millimeter wrench that I'll be using, and but let's get started with getting this thing all opened up. Here, you know, on every, I don't know what the best word for this is, but every curve of the corkscrew, you've got it here, you've got it here. It's not continuous, you know, and they look okay. This looks about as thin as my my rake. If you saw the rake video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. That was the big fail. But oh, and then you got some auger teeth here that are welded on. But you know, I anticipate using this for planting some trees and whatever else. So we'll see how it goes. Let me get this mounted on the machine, and then we'll do the hoses. All right, we're back. I've got this on the quick attach here. You can get a better look at things now. That's off the ground. The welds here, they look pretty decent. You know, they use some pretty good steel. I didn't take the caliper out, but it's got to be about 1/4 inch plate. You know, I wasn't sure, but I think I just used logic as to which way this was supposed to be mounted, with this up front or in the back. I went based on two things. I kept the direction of the grease nipples the same, and also it seemed to make sense that you'd want to let this hang and get into position, you know, depending on whatever height you had the boom on, so that you could get yourself you know, a hole straight down. So I'm going to mount you guys here. So I'm assuming that these lines don't really matter which direction they go in. And I'm saying that because you know, it's just rotation one way or the other. So it's the only difference I see is which way I'm going to put the I'm going to push the pedal to make it spin. So let's see if I'm right. These are 27 millimeter. It's a 27 millimeter fitting. And I do have an adjustable. And right up here. I guess a quick connect would be a little, obviously it would be a little faster, but surely it's not horrible. I mean, for the amount of times I'm probably going to be putting hydraulic implements on here, All right, so we're back. I've got the auger bit now on the auger motor. This is just simply a bolt. Now I thought I was going to be smart because the bolt didn't come with any washers, and as soon as I put a washer on this side, I didn't have enough room for my washer and my lock washer on that side. So I think we're going to get a bigger bolt at some point, and probably a higher grade bolt. I don't know. We'll see if that matters, because all it really is doing is just stopping this from dropping out. You know, this is a big square bit basically that it fits on, and in case you care, it is a 17 millimeter. So what we're going to try now is to see whether or not this thing spins before we go trying to dig any holes. So let's get the machine on. Now, theoretically, all I need to do is change the valve flow on each side of here. I haven't even touched these yet, so let's see. It goes this way, or which way does it go? This way, all right? Like that. Same thing here. It did drop this a little bit. Oh, I see. I know what I got to do then. I've got to put the pin in here. Okay. I remembered that there was a pin on this, and that's got to be exactly what this is for, so that this doesn't get in the way when we do this. So let me be right. I'll be right back. I'll get that pin. I'll show you what I mean, and we'll get to. Well, you know what? First, let's just see if this spins. I suspect it will. Here's my pedal right here. Let's see. Yep, one way, the other way. All right, let me go get my pin. I'll show you what I mean. We'll put that in, and then we'll see what she does. That's up all the way, and then this pin goes right in here. It locks in. We got ourselves a 10 millimeter screw here, or bolt. Get this in here. I was thinking to myself, yeah, I was wondering what would stop this from dropping, and then finally used my brain. All right, this back down. I like these valves. I've seen other ones where you've got to use, it's a little, you got to put a wrench on it or something. I mean, same concept, but it's just nice to have the handle like this. All right, I'm going to move the machine, and we're going to try boring out a hole. Okay, so I picked a spot in my yard where I know there's no gas line or water line or anything else. So it's an arbitrary spot. You guys can see the soil. This is just a like a metal rod. I'll kind of like poke around, but you can see that this is hard, compact soil, and we have clay here, a good amount of clay. There's definitely going to be some rocks in here. I'm just hoping we don't have a big one, but there's going to be some little rocks. And you know, the best way I figured to test this out was to try to see if we can get ourselves the whole length of the auger bit, which is roughly 42 inches or so. So that plus a stopwatch to see how long it takes is really, I guess, the way to test this. I've never done this with one of these. I think my experience with, if I remember right, as a kid with my dad, with using an auger was the old, gas-powered augers that you would rent from the local rental place. So I got like I said, no expectation on this. Let's just see what happens. All right, I'm about to hit start, and let's go. See, that soil is definitely dry. Pull it up a little bit. This is my fault here, guys. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing. Seems like it gets stuck a little bit. It's a little bit of an art to this. A giant anthill. Some of that dirt. Come on, get back in there. Down you go. almost there. All right, I'm gonna call it there. 8 minutes and 22 seconds, some of that being operator error. But let's measure this and kind of give it a final review. All right, what do we got here for a hole? Yeah, there was definitely some more dirt in there. So I can't get down to the bottom there, but we're gonna call that 20, it says about 26 inches we went down. Yeah, about 26 inches. Overall, I was pretty impressed. I really, like I said, I had no real expectations. I could have gotten down there a little further, but I've also never done this before, so you know, it didn't bog the machine down. You know, machine operated nice and smoothly. The hydraulics operated nice and smoothly. I don't see any leaks here. I don't see any leaks on the housing of the, or the connections anywhere. On the auger, the blade seemed to hold up. I didn't bend anything. I also wasn't really hard on it, but it didn't need it. It just did what it was supposed to do. So I'm going to call that a success. I'm going to call that an attachment you're probably going to want to buy just because of the price. I mean, at least if you did it from Shanding anyway, it's worth it. And that's it for now. If you like my content, please hit subscribe, the like button, plenty of comments. Comments give me ideas. In fact, comments are what inspired me to do this auger video sooner than later, because I had somebody really wanting to see it, so I took their advice and that's what we did. I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you for watching and see you then.